Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another layout video. Today I just have a little everyday moment. We got a new couch and a new rug, and I took a few pictures of it, and I am documenting that. So I'm starting with my big stack of new paper from the American Crafts newer collections. They've been out for a few months now, but I still have quite the stack of the papers, and I knew I wanted to use it, so I'm just flipping through, pulling out a few that I think might work well, and then also kind of getting a little lost in just how much I love these papers. Do you ever do that? Like, you're just looking through your stash, trying to find something, and then you're like, ooh, I really like this. I like this. I like this. I did that quite a few times here while I was creating this layout. So ultimately I decide on one of the new Jen Hatfield pages. I don't have the exact name, but as you can see, it's a blue polka dot paper. And that works really well. Our rug in the pictures, as you can see, is primarily blue, so I thought it coordinated well. And as you can see, I've got this white scrap. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use this and map my photos or something like that. No, of course, that does not happen. But I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna try this kind of, it's really like a speckled paper. It's not textured, but it does have like almost little fibers that you can see in it. And I don't know, I think it's one that I got in a big paper pad pack of solids. So I thought it coordinated pretty well. I go ahead and mat all three of my photos with just a really thin border, because this paper, it's not like it's my favorite paper or anything. It's nothing spectacular, but it gives my layout a little something extra. And of course, as I'm doing this, both my Herma mounting square dispenser and my Tombow tape runner run out right there together at the same time, which has not happened yet, but man, isn't that just perfect, you know? So I did use some double-sided tape just to finish that up. I do ink up the edges just a little bit. I want a subtle black like border, I guess, around the edge of my photo mats. I think it just kind of pulls it apart a little bit from the blue background. It just makes it stand out just a little bit more. It's not something, if you weren't looking for it, you probably wouldn't notice it, but I know it's there and it helps me, differentiate. So I do have to stop. Sorry, I meant to cut this part out. It's not that exciting. I refill the Tombow really easily. If you have one of those, it's just like a click in, click out. Super easy. And then I get to work on the little Herma, which you can see I've got to open the little box to see how to do it every time. And I actually did it wrong the first time. I'm sure that's something a lot of people can sympathize with, because, man, some of these tape runners are not the most intuitive things, but that's okay. Anyway, moving on. I have this Chamel Sparkle City journaling pad. It's 6x8. And I pull off a piece of this kind of blue journaling card. Now, it's hard to tell in the video, but it does have journaling lines on it, which is why I really like this pad. I think it's kind of unique from other ones that I've seen. I don't usually see many that already have your little journaling lines and journal cards on it. I thought it coordinated well enough, and I'm, trying to use up those smaller pads, 6x6, 6x8 pads. So I go ahead and I kind of cluster my photos together. I put in my little journaling card with it. I don't write on the journaling card before I cluster it together, because I know I want some of the photo to overlap it a little bit, and obviously I don't want to cover up my words. So once everything's stuck down, I just write a little journal about it. I think that this is a particularly significant new couch experience, because we actually ordered this couch back in November of 2020, and we got it in April of 2021. So we had to wait quite a long time. It was, of course, due to the pandemic, I guess, I'm not sure if it's shortage of material, shortage of labor, or all of the above, or something else, but we had to wait a long time for it. And they told us that when we bought it, but man, it did take a while. And then, of course, it was not easy getting it into the house, and it was just a whole ordeal, but ultimately we're very happy with it. So definitely something to document and remember. Now I have these black thickers. They are crepe paper, and they, as you can see, they're like a script or like a handwritten kind of font, and each letter is a little bit different. I really like them. They are black, and they're like not puffy, but they definitely have a little bit of texture to them. And I just pull out and put on my acrylic block the words "new couch." I mean, I didn't have a very clever or creative title for this one. It's just pretty straightforward because we got a new couch. So the title is "New Couch." Now I haven't figured out exactly where I want to put this, but I know that my layout, there's something missing. And I decide that I am going to take a black piece of cardstock, gut it, and use it as kind of like a frame for the rest of my layout. Now, my paper trimmer is old, and all those nice lines and markings that are on like the clear part where the actual trimmer slides, most of them are gone. They've rubbed away by now. So this may not have been worth it, in my opinion. Like, I definitely like the effect that it gives my layout, but I don't know that it was worth it to actually gut the paper. This was just a cheap piece of cardstock that, came in a big pack of black. It's not that thick. It's not that great. I probably should have just used the whole thing rather than worry about gutting it, but you know what? What's done is done, and it is what it is. Maybe that means I need a new paper trimmer, or just more paper. I don't know. We'll see. So in order to put it down, I cut off 1/4 of an inch off all 4 sides of the main layout. And then on the very, very edge of each side, I put some double-sided tape. I think that is the most effective way to put it down. Obviously, double-sided tape is great adhesive, and I know it's not going anywhere. Also, if I put it on the main part of the layout and not like the frame, the black frame, then I know that I can get it exactly where I want it, right? So I do add a little bit of washi. This is just a black washi. It has words, like little moments every day, those kinds of words. And another little white washi that has black lettering. Again, same, captured memories, that kind of stuff. But I just like how the black and white type kind of goes with the layout. I feel like that ends up kind of being the theme. Wasn't really intentional, but that it's kind of black, white, and blue throughout the whole layout, which I think works out. So I put in my title, "New Couch." Again, nothing super special. I end up going through all of my stickers, every single one of them, and let me tell you, my bin is way too full, and I don't make you watch all of it because it was a lot, but I do pull out a few in order to get my, what I want to put down. Now, I think these cute little houses, they're something I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. They're like little enamel house stickers. I thought that was appropriate. I had not used them before. So I use a few of those, and then I have this sticker sheet. I want to say that it's from Jelly Bean Soup, but I might be wrong. It is one that it's old. It came in a peachy cheap grab bag, and I hadn't used it yet, so I was like, okay, I think these colors kind of coordinate well. They're neutral. We're going to go for it. I end up, let's see, I think I only have 3 done right now, but I add one more. Just to kind of make little clusters and add little hints of embellishment in different parts of the layout. Now, I do think, okay, something else. There needs to be something else. And this is where I really start to dig through my supplies. Think, okay, enamel dots? No, they're polka dots. What about this little thing? It's like a Prima something or other. I go through everything that I have. And ultimately, I'm like, no. No more stickers, stamps. And I get out my little box of stamps and I think, how about the crepe paper stamps that I have? I have one set of these. They're from the new Garden Party collection. I picked them up at Joann's and hadn't really used them yet. So I go ahead and I take the cute little bow. I think it coordinates well because I have crepe paper, thickers up there at the top, and so it's kind of in the same style. I use my black soot distress oxide to put them down, and I just take off a couple of the stamps, stamp them down to add just a little bit of embellishment. I'm not trying to do a whole lot. This is going to end up being a fairly plain layout. Not a whole lot of sparkle and shine or pizzazz, not too many products, but I like it. It's kind of like a plain and simple, fairly flat layout. One that, I think turns out and serves the purpose that I need to. So I've got one more stamp here to add, just a little heart to kind of create a little cluster up by the title here. And there are like 3 or 4 hearts, so it takes me a second to decide which one I want to use. But after I get that down, I decide, you know what? I'm calling it. And that's my layout. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.